Hi, everyone. Well, we are getting a cold front in Iowa today, but because it's not going to arrive until the late afternoon or evening hours for most of us, it's going to be really, really hot. Look at these feels like temperatures. Again, the combination of our high temperatures and the really high humidity. And look how most of us are going to be sitting at 105, 106, perhaps as high as 107 in spots. One little bit of good news. One thing that will help some. It is going to be windy across the state today. Gusts 30, 35 miles per hour this afternoon. It'll help, but not so much. Now notice Mason City, Sioux Falls, notice getting away from the 105 range because the front will be arriving earlier. But still, that's hot enough. But it's just incredible how many of us are going to be around that 105 mark. All right, so now let's talk about the rain. And yes, the chance, unfortunately, for severe storms. Now, I do have to mention 8 a.m. this morning. Around the Quad Cities, still some isolated showers and storms, not severe. I still have to mention the chance through the early morning hours, but most in the state dry. Now, when the front will start to push in is going to be about 1 o'clock this afternoon. And as soon as it starts to push in, it looks like there are going to be showers and storms along it. And I tell you what, particularly during the mid to late afternoon hours, there are probably going to be some severe storms within this line of storms as well. So let's just time it out. Let's go in 2-hour increments here and talk about when you're most likely going to see severe storms. But the threat begins in the far northwestern part, say 1 o'clock this afternoon. So at 3 o'clock, where the storms are most likely to be, Mason City, Fort Dodge, probably the Sioux City area as well. 5 o'clock. Now we're talking about the most likely time for storms being Waterloo, Denison. Notice those dark shades of red indicating absolutely heavy rain and lightning, but also the chance of damaging wind and hail. Now, as we get into the evening hours, let's watch the activity push to the south and east. But notice not as much of the red showing up. So it does look like the activity is going to be weakening, though not rapidly. We still have to keep a chance of severe storms for the entire state. But as we get into the evening hours, more likely it'll just be heavy rain and lightning, regular storms, than severe storms. So this is probably the best chance for places like Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, the best chance of storms for the Quad Cities. And also still a chance for severe storms about 9 o'clock this evening. Still going to leave an outside chance for the far southeastern part of the state at 11 o'clock as the front moves over you. But notice even less red showing up. Now transitioning to more showers than storms. And by 1 a.m., the front is clear of us. And so the severe weather threat coming to an end. Though those still will be some isolated showers and maybe a couple of weak storms. But no more severe storms to worry about by the time we get to 1 a.m. because the front will be clear of us. So, the severe threat is not equal across the state today. The greatest threat is going to be north of I-80. And that's what I'm showing you here. So Cedar Rapids, Waterloo, Fort Dodge, Sioux City, with the greatest chance in the far northeastern part of the state. So if I had to pick a place that's most likely to see severe storms, I would say in and around the Mason City area. In this area, though, north of I-80, what is the worst case scenario? I do think in a few spots we could see wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. We could see in a few spots up to golf ball size hail. And though the chance is real low, can't rule out an EF0 or EF1 tornado popping up as well. Now, because the front will be arriving later, farther to the south, along I-80 and areas south, the severe threat is lower. The worst case scenario isn't as bad. In this area, along I-80 and area south, really what's most likely is just some heavy rain and lightning. But we do have to keep the chance in there in a few spots for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and perhaps up to quarter-size hail. Not worried about tornadoes here along I-80 and area south. So the big takeaway today, heavy rain and lightning likely for the entire state. But the earlier the storms arrive in your location, the more likely they are to be severe. The later they arrive, the less likely they are to be severe.